workshop for math, CUNY LINCT to success. I know that we got a little delayed with the food issue. I hope everybody's had a chance to get some food and drinks. You've met Usha and Andrew. My name is Teresa and I'm the director for LINCT to Success. And a couple of my colleagues are here today. This is Robert Johnson. He's the success coordinator. And Trisha Clark is the ELA coordinator. So we thought it would be important. Oh, and Amanda Daly is a colleague of ours who's helping out. So thank you very much.
I don't think you guys did actually meet me.
Okay, sorry.
I am the math curriculum coordinator, and I will ultimately be running these, but I've just started. So I haven't had time to plan. I'm just kind of getting my feet wet as well. So Usha's going to be kind of running today, and we're going to transition a little bit ultimately. So I am here today. I want to get to know you, but Usha's going to be running the show.
Yes, and I also wanted to say that everybody, can you just give me a show of hands of who's a new school participating this year for the first time? Wow, so you guys are staying together. Okay, so about half of you. And that's the case for this year. We have 35 schools. We're going to be participating, and 17 of them are new schools. And so even for the schools who are returning schools, this is going to be new material because this past year we had a state grant for both ELA and math, and Trisha worked on the ELA portion and Usha worked on the math portion, and together they worked on aligning both curricula to become core standards. And so there's going to be a lot of change for those who are returning, and that's why we're having this workshop. But in addition to the changes in ELA and math, we also have some changes to the program. For those who are returning, the first, most obvious is the name. So this past year, we have combined with a program called Strive for Success on the college success side. And we also have rebranded ourselves. So we were formerly called At Home in College, and now the new full program is called LINCT to Success. So just to give you some highlights on the program. No, it's okay. So some of you may know and may have heard and are probably participating in some of our other collaborative programs. Amanda is actually working for several of them, which is College Now and Science Fair, New York City Science Fair. But our program, LINCT to Success, is situated in the collaborative programs unit of CUNY, which is essentially, we like to call ourselves the incubator arm of CUNY, where we can pilot new programs with different partners throughout the city. Our largest partner is the Department of Education. We also have partners with other city agencies such as ACS. We work with them to bring college readiness skills and college access opportunities to aging out foster care youth, for example. We are also in discussion with the Mayor's Fund in a variety of capacities, including in career pathways. So I share this with you because the vision that we have put together over this past year is something that extends not just to LINCT to Success, but to the collaborative programs unit in itself as well. And to be clear, this is the first time we're sharing this publicly. Our vision for the unit and for LINCT to Success is to close the opportunity and achievement gap for New York City youth. Our mission is to provide comprehensive learning opportunities so that New York City high school and college students and youth develop the habits, attitudes, and skills necessary to achieve long-term college and career success. And you're going to be, hopefully everybody here will be attending the combined PD tomorrow, which is actually the first time that the English math teachers and the counselors are going to be together to work on how we can translate these ideas and our mission and values into the classroom. So what are our values and guiding principles? We have 5 values. We have a holistic approach towards youth development and learning and student success. We believe that we should be accountable, as well as our partners, to each other and to our program goals. We are goal-oriented and focused, and we believe in providing evidence-based and data-informed culture and creating that culture so that we can use that information to inform our practices. And we are finally a collaborative program. We believe in partnerships, and we believe in communication and transparency, and in leveraging our resources and best practices to continue to provide high-quality programs to our students. So what are our program goals? We have 3 goals that we report to our main funder, which is Robin Hood. We are here to increase student pass rates on the CUNY placement exams, and ultimately to raise academic literacy and numeracy skills. We are here to help support students throughout their progress in college, increase third semester retention, and ultimately increase graduation success rates. So these are the goals that are most important in terms of our funders. We obviously have our own goals in terms of how we believe these should be translated, in addition to these, into how we serve our students. So this is an overview, this last slide, of all of our program activities across the 3 stages that we support. As I mentioned, we're a college access, transition, and success program. So on the college access side, which everybody here is a part of, we have programs in terms of English and math transition courses. We are here to support your students in the math transition courses, as well as other support services. So to be clear, the students who are eligible for our program can be eligible either through their math score, their math regents, their English regents, or a combination of both. And depending on their eligibility, at each school you have different criteria for how you program them. So for example, a lot of our partners this year have high L students or exclusively L students, and they may not qualify on the English side for our courses, but they qualify on the math side. So the 3 criteria for programming is if you're eligible based on your math score, you receive between a 65 and a 79 in your integrated algebra regions, or down to 55 if you have an IEP, then you have to be enrolled in math and English. So you have to be enrolled in math, obviously because of your math eligibility, but in English, you don't have to be eligible. So you can use your math score to determine programming in English for those who are kind of not eligible based on the English scores. If you're basing your eligibility based on your English score only, which is your English regents, receiving between 65 and a 74, or down to 55 with an IEP, then your students have to be enrolled in English. And if you're basing the scores based on English and math, then the students have to be enrolled in at least English, but not necessarily math, up to you. So did you have a question, sir? Okay. So this is just some clarification. If you have anybody in your schools, if you're APs or your counselors or programming students, a lot of them have been sending you questions. These are the 3 criteria. So students who are eligible based on their scores also receive the ability to test for the CUNY assessment test twice a year. We usually test in January, February, and May, June. And they also receive the LINCT to Success Scholarship, which is a waiver of the CUNY $65 application fee. So these are sort of the benefits to that subset of students. However, all of the students, all of the seniors in your graduating class are eligible to participate in a Bridge to College Transition program. And that's a program that's a peer-led, peer mentoring program, peer-led by 3rd or 4th year students in college who have been hired and trained and are supervised by even more experienced college students and then hub supervisors who are usually school-based supervisors amongst our high school partners. And that program is run by our Access and Transition Coordinator, Monica, who's on her way here. And basically, those college coaches are assigned students at your high schools to reach out to and make sure that they're meeting their college matriculation and financial aid goals, and that there's a smooth transition during that summer after they graduate into college. And so, because everybody in your senior class, graduating senior class, is eligible for Bridge, technically everybody is part of LINCT to Success. There's just a subset of students who are enrolled in the transition courses. And so you're going to be seeing from me soon in a few weeks. I'll be sharing a letter with you, a welcome letter, that I would like for you to give to your students. And there will be a version, and the letter will basically include all of the benefits that the students will receive, which is what I mentioned for those who are in transition courses. But in addition to that, everybody else should be able to be enrolled and access our college and career success curricula, which is generally pushed in by the counselors into the English class. And they'll be eligible to come here, or not here, to participate in the CUNY Creative Arts Team educational theater workshops that we have, once in the fall and once in the spring. So this is your entire senior class, they're eligible. And usually those workshops are aligned to help provide opportunities for the students to really think about their goals in terms of college and career, and to build the skills that we're trying to help them build on the college access side. At the end of those creative arts team workshops, there's usually a tour at those campuses, which is usually at Hostos or BNCC. And also everybody is eligible as a senior to receive workshops conducted by our LINCT ambassadors, who are first-year students at our college partner campuses, who are trained to go back to their high schools, preferably, and talk about their experience to really build that peer network of from seniors in high school through the first year in college. So that's the college access and transition piece. On the college success side, Robert is a success coordinator. And as I mentioned earlier, there was part of the LINCT to Success program and change is a merger with another program within collaborative programs called Strive for Success. And basically, everybody who's coming into Strive for Success either comes from LINCT or comes from our previous program pilot partners, which are CBOs, community-based organizations within the city, who have college access programs, and they have assigned basically college success coordinators for these campuses, the 7 campuses that we work with, and have hired student success leaders, who are generally second-year students of those campuses, as peer mentors to outreach the first years. So everybody who's a LINCT graduate from your schools, if they go to a CUNY community college or to City Tech, will be served by a student success leader. And this is Monica, our college access and transition coordinator.
How are you?
So she's in charge of the ambassador program and Bridge to College. So basically what we're trying to do on the college side is to create a mini community school model within our community college campuses. So there's a real emphasis on peer mentorship and the social and emotional needs of the students because they are supported by their college success coordinator. And if they're coming from LINCT, Robert is actually supervising the counterpart for LINCT, which are going to be 5 graduate social work interns who are going to be placed at those campuses to support the students there. So, in a nutshell, that's what the program is. Does anybody have any questions? Yes?
Just for clarification, in the past, we could take the CUNY entrance exam in September. September. Is that still an option, or is it just January?
That was only twice the past 2 years because we needed to have a pre-test for our funder, and that requirement has been met. And so we would prefer not to do that this year. There's so many changes going on, and coordinating a pre-test unnecessarily was something that we didn't think was a high priority. Yeah, so the first time all of the students who are eligible are going to be testing are going to be starting mid-January or the second week of January until the first week of February, excluding those Regents dates. Sure. And any other questions? Yes.
A student who opts to test who opts out of the CUNY assessment test, is that allowed?
No.
Oh,
So I know some of you have been asked pretty much at the last minute to join this PD. So the conversations that have been had probably took place in the spring or during the summer that I've been having with your administrators, most likely your principals and APs. But there was a commitment letter that they signed that outlined all of the benefits of the program as well as high school partners' responsibilities. And one of the key responsibilities in order for us to make this a successful program is, number one, for the staff who are committed to implement the curricula. Number two, to help with that, for everybody to attend the PD as much as possible. And number three, to encourage the students to take the exam. Because even if they pass the Regents or they think that they're not going to go to CUNY, it's really important for us to have them. I mean, it's a benefit to the student because they have an opportunity to practice. You know, it's an online exam. If they're going to the SUNY school, it's preparing them anyways, you know. And ultimately, we are judged by our funder by the results of those exams. And so in the interest of you know, the program viability, we really encourage students and the administrators to, you know, make sure that the students are attending. We need that data to really support the school. Yes.
Now, couple of questions. Now, as I can see, I'm browsing the materials, and it's really aligned to the Common Core. My question is, this definitely will be helping those kids who didn't get an 80 and over in the Regents exam. However, this and the placement exam are very, very far apart. Now,
you know, we'll kind of get into that more in the math section, right? I think you're raising a really important point, and we'll, you know, so we're going to get into that. So Teresa, kind of giving you the overview of the program. I'm going to start us into the mathematics a little bit more, and then we'll have a section.
Because that was the problem that we had in the Acts of Home program last time, and it didn't work. You know, the passing rate of the students or the grades in the placement exam, it didn't, you know, the program didn't help them.
So we'll get into this. We'll get into this.
That is my only concern.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I also think that just historically, in past several years, on the math side, there hasn't been the level of structure that could really provide you know, fidelity to the model and really be a gauge for success on the math side. Because every teacher at these schools that we were working with were using their own materials, you know, and picking and choosing, you know, what parts of the math curricula that they felt were helpful or useful to them. And I think that because, you know, this is now completely curricula that Usha's been working on, it's been designed to address obviously success on the, you know, on the exam.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and shift in because I think we're.
So, any other questions on the program before? Yes.
In high school, is there a code that's designed for this class?
Yes, I sent the codes to the APs and principals 2 days ago. So they should have the codes, and we could just touch base with them about them. So they have the codes, and they know how to program the students into those classes. You asked about codes, right?
Yeah, because what happens is that from last year, from that I was teaching
Like algebra 2 was algebra 2 class.
Yeah, no,
But then
they have that
they
already.
instructed it
So
with this.
just touch
And
base
you know,
with her.
I thought that they couldn't give credit for algebra 2 when we just did this. So I had to make a combination of this and the algebra 2 to justify the credit for algebra 2.
You kind of had two curriculums on your plate.
You have to take this and have to implement, you know, like on a Friday or.
So that might be an
10
issue
minutes.
for us to kind of work out with the principal
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
AP, right?
Yeah, but touch base with your principal and AP first, because maybe that was addressed through the codes that I
Yeah.
provided already.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Well,
Yes, and you're welcome to, I'm gonna be here the whole day, you're welcome to touch base with me at the end if you need to. Yes, Diane?
Since I was in the program, I just want to clarify this. I know ELA, the English part is the senior English, you get an English credit for that. Math, this is, according to NYC, it's an elective credit.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Make sure it's all right.
You get a credit for time, yeah? Now we're gonna see.
Okay. So I want to just talk a little bit about just our outline. So this is our outline for today, focusing on the mathematics. We're going to be focusing on kind of giving you an overview of the mathematics of the whole program. Okay, so you're going to get a picture of not just the first few weeks, but just trying to give you an outline of the year. We're going to start off with something that we call a non-routine problem. So that's going to be a chance for us to kind of work on a little mathematics, a sample of something that we want to see happening within this course. And then in the afternoon, we'll be focusing on the proportional reasoning unit, which is the first unit, and that's the unit that you now have in that binder. Okay? So that's really our plan for today. Tomorrow, the day will also include some time on mathematics in the second half of the day. And our focuses there within the unit are going to go into, again, sticking with the proportional reasoning and also working on assessments for the proportional reasoning. If we have a little time, we might be able to get into a little bit into assessment today. And then we'll also be talking a little bit more about mapping out and some ideas around what it might look like for you to map out your first problem. Okay? A few people, if we can ask for a few more introductions, if you didn't have a chance to share with us what you would select if you were to have unlimited storage of one thing, what would it be? So if you haven't answered that question for us, can you just let us know, give us your name, high school, etc. Yeah.
my name is Liz Trudeau. I'm working at CUNY Preparatory Alternative High School. I've been teaching there for a year, but I've been teaching in general for the last 8 years. I'd say ice cream. I love ice cream.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ray Cavallo. I'm at Flags High School. I've been there since 2002. And I guess unlimited storage of time.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, Macy Worthy. I'm at Bronx Academy for Careers. Years of teaching. Too many. You keep a lot. You want to have one of these, so you don't want to work with flowers. Plants, flowers.
Okay. Anybody else? Jay?
So my name is Isabel. I teach at World Academy. I've been teaching for 10 years, and I think I would need patience.
Okay. I'd ask you right now to go ahead and just turn to your table, the people at your table. We had gone around and done some introductions. So turn to your table. Again, share your name. If you changed your mind on what you store, go ahead and share that. And then I'm going to ask you just to kind kind of go around and give first names. So go ahead and share at your table first.
Macy.
Okay.